Let me be real about today's dating scene. I've stopped taking on matchmaking cases for single women in their mid-30s unless they're open to divorce partners. The options are just too limited, and the success rate is abysmal. Some might call me harsh, but I'm just describing market reality. I keep telling women to get married younger instead of waiting until they hit 30. Every time I say this, the comments explode. Mind your own business. Being single is better. I won't settle. Women over 30 can still thrive. I can still land a rich man at my age. It's just denial, really. You're living in a fantasy world. Let me tell you about this 33-year-old woman. 5 years ago, at 28, she was desperate for me to set her up. She had it all. A government job, house, car, good looks. Back then, plenty of guys were interested. She claimed to be low maintenance. Just wanted a decent-looking guy with a stable government job. Sounds reasonable, right? But oh boy, the reality was different. I introduced her to this 5 feet 8 inches guy with a great government position, too short. Then a 6 feet 1 inch teacher, too skinny, like a beanpole. A civil servant, too controlling. A good-looking corporate guy with similar height, too busy, won't have time for me. This went on for years. I must have introduced her to at least 25 guys. She always found something wrong. One guy's hands weren't attractive enough, if you can believe it. Sometimes she rejected them, sometimes they rejected her. Now, at 33, she's full of regret. She's ready to marry anyone decent as soon as possible. Here's the harsh truth. Once women hit 30, their dating pool shrinks dramatically. Each new prospect seems worse than the last. She had the nerve to ask why my recommendations were getting worse. I wanted to say, honey, wake up. Most quality guys your age are married. The few good ones left aren't exactly excited about dating someone your age. She still dreams of finding someone younger, claims she has no standards now, but secretly hopes to snag some wealthy men on discount. When rare opportunities come up, she gets picky. Then regrets it later, but by then, the guy's moved on. Now she's having meltdowns because her cousin, 7 years younger, just got married. She's panicking about being forever single. Sure, you're successful. You make bank. Many older single women outperform men professionally. But this isn't a job interview, it's dating. Your market value isn't about your salary. It's about youth and emotional connection. Age is everything in the dating market. Don't let your career obsession cost you your chance at happiness. Smart women lock it down early. If you're already in your 30s and meet someone decent, stop being difficult. Get married while you can. Otherwise, you'll have no one to blame but yourself.
If a woman is over 35, finding a suitable partner becomes incredibly tough, no matter how hard she tries. In a city like Guangzhou, where many women are highly educated, high-earning, and career-focused, you'd think they'd have it easy. But the reality is different. Take this 37-year-old woman, for example. After years of hard work, she owns a car, an apartment, and earns over 300,000 yuan a year. However, since turning 30, her dating life has been a struggle. Many men won't even agree to meet her. When she was younger, she was the one in control. Men would chase her, and she'd carefully evaluate them before deciding whether to give them a chance. Now at 37, she has to take charge of everything. Driving to meet men, starting conversations, and often paying the bill on dates. Despite her efforts, men still ignore her. Last month, she finally met a guy who seemed perfect. Good job, no kids though he was divorced. She put in extra effort to impress him, even getting a facial massage and spending hours getting ready. But after the date, when she invited him back to her place, he flat out rejected her. He also asked if she'd be willing to undergo fertility tests if they got married, revealing his concerns about her ability to have children. This hurt her deeply, and she regretted not finding a partner when she was younger. As she ages, she feels she's losing control. She's had to lower her standards, accepting men up to 8 years older, even those with kids. Her parents used to pressure her to find someone, but now her father has given up. She's an only child, still living with her parents, but she worries about being alone when they're gone. No one to care for her if she gets sick or to talk to about her problems. Listening to her story, I felt a deep sense of regret. My advice to young women who think they can find a partner casually is this. When you're young, take the opportunity to find someone. Cherish your youth and choose someone suitable. When you're young, you have your pick of men. But once you're over 35, no matter how proactive you are, you might find that people just aren't interested.
Let me tell you, those leftover women over 30 that you're trying to introduce me to, I absolutely won't consider them. Look at what's written there. She's already 33. What would I want with her?
So you're 36, right? Born in the 80s. She's from 91, just turned 33. What's the big deal?
I used to think like that too, but after dating a few older single women, I got some real talk. Most women over 30, they've got issues. First off, their looks are definitely on the decline, but they're still posting those heavily filtered photos like they're Instagram models. Then they have the nerve to complain about guys being ugly, as if there's some kind of perfect 10 that no one deserves. And their personalities. Total disaster. Think about it, if a woman isn't completely unfortunate looking, she should have had guys chasing her. So if no one's pursuing her, something's definitely wrong with her personality. But here's the real kicker. They don't care about love. It's all about the money. First question out of their mouth. Do you own a house? What's your car? What's your job? How much do you make? They're not interested in whether we actually connect or have anything in common. It's just a financial transaction. And once they've dated some well-off guy, suddenly they think they're too good for us average dudes. They've been protected by an eagle and now look down on us like we're street dogs. So you're asking if I'll consider women over 30? Absolutely not. Trying to date them is like worshiping at a grave. I'm outside begging and praying, and they're just sitting there, expecting me to bring offerings. Then they'll tell me I'm at the wrong grave. So I'm telling you, women of this age, I absolutely won't consider them.
Oh, so you think once you're older with money, you can just snag yourself a young man? I hear this from older women all the time. But let me break down why sugar mamas and sugar daddies are totally different games. Let's talk about these wealthy married guys I know who keep college girls on the side. They're dropping like $20K per month on these girls, taking them on fancy business trips, showing them off like trophies. But here's the catch, if the girl starts getting serious, they'll just say, hey, live your life, date whoever, get married, I don't care. Just be available when I need you, and the money keeps flowing. If she ever wants out? No problem. The door's always open for her to come back for more cash. These sugar daddies are everywhere. But flip the script, how many women could drop $20K monthly on a guy and be cool with him seeing other people? Let's get real here. I'm not throwing shade at women, but look at what's happening now. Girls expecting their boyfriends to buy them meals, handbags, and skincare products. How often do you see women surprising their men with gifts? All I hear from women about dating is complaints about guys not spending enough on them. It gets better, even married women nowadays act like basic housework is unpaid labor. And you think you can handle a younger guy? Sure, he might be naive, but his family and friends aren't stupid. They'll see right through it. Here's my advice to women, wake up and smell the coffee. Instead of living in this fantasy, work on yourself and face reality. If you really want to play the cougar game, you better have the emotional intelligence and skills to handle it. Otherwise, you'll end up being more of a mom than a sugar mama.